think I'm recording.
Are you here?
Yeah.
In the room
What's up,
with
Mr.
us?
Allen?
What's up, Mr. Wall? And what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Water and Time podcast. We are having a week hiatus last week, but we're back for episode 9 today.
Episode 9.
Hey,
wow.
this is the last episode of the single digit numbers, so we'll be on double digits from now
That
on.
means there's gonna be a collective around 9 hours of us talking
And
on the
yapping. These
Yeah.
two buffoons just talking about whatever these days. So yeah, we missed episode 9 last week, like recording it last week, but I was traveling a little bit in Berlin, and
Yeah.
the
Tell
time
us
zones
about
was
that,
too
Alan.
hard. It was too hard to make it work. I think when Will messaged me about the podcast, I was asleep. I was dead asleep.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
replied to him saying, "Skip. I can't do this right now."
Yeah. But it's okay. Our goal for 2026 was how many episodes? I think 40.
Yeah, something
Or-
like that, which we
Yeah,
can
so
definitely
we'll hit that. We can
well,
take
we
some
can
breaks.
definitely
It's
maintain.
important. That's
Yeah,
how
it's good
Alan
to have
says so
breaks.
beautiful. Yeah.
Well, I also wanted to. Yeah, it's just good to take time away and. Yeah. Hey, Will, how's it
Yeah,
going,
tell
man?
it. I'm good.
Dude,
Yeah.
aren't you stuck in snowstorms over this past
Yeah,
weekend?
so I live in Brooklyn. We just had a crazy snowstorm. It wasn't that bad, in my opinion. Like, I have a great winter coat I put on. I was out there. It's mainly just a lot of snow, and I think it's the scariness is how it's going to get sleek, right? So
Yep.
it'll get icy and sleek and dangerous. I think the actual snowfall was awesome. It's like a foot of snow. It's piled up now, too, because they clear the roads.
Dude, a foot of
So
snow
it's
is a
like-
lot of snow.
Yeah, well, there's like a 4 foot tall, like, because the plow keeps coming over, right? And it moves all the snow off the street into the sidewalk. And so some of the sidewalks are stacked up. So one of them was about 4 feet, which is kind of cool to see. And like cars are getting covered. But New York City, the infrastructure here is amazing. Like shops were still open, the subway was still running. They're built for the snow. I think that's the craziest storm they've seen in like 8 years, but the city's built for it. Seattle is not built for it.
Yeah, Seattle's
Seattle,
not.
yeah. I remember 2 inches of snow, we would close school growing up.
Of course,
So it's in a
because
different city.
all the cars are going to be crashing because we don't know how to drive in the snow. And we still don't know how to drive in the snow to this day.
Yeah. But
So-
no, it's the storm's been out. I've been inside mostly, but hitting some cafes, just kind of staying in my local neighborhood.
It's funny,
it's been
so
nice, though.
there's a Smash Bros tournament over the weekend in New York,
yeah.
in Manhattan, and I was keeping up with it a little bit, but I saw that on Sunday morning when like
That was the bad day. Yeah, it was
when the
yesterday.
snowstorm was happening, there were a lot of DQs, disqualifications that players had to do in the tournament because a lot of
'Cause they
them
couldn't get there.
were living in Jersey for the weekend for the tourney.
Oh,
and so
they
it was so
closed-
hard
yeah.
it was impossible, I guess. That's why they DQ'd to go from Jersey
No.
to New York.
New Jersey Transit shut down, so they preemptively shut down their entire transit system to get in, from what I understand, to New York City. Because also it's a weekend because it's Sunday. I just think there's a less priority. It's not like a work day. That sucks though. Poor Smash players, dude.
Yeah, I just feel bad, for them, and then also all the people flying in to like New Jersey
I
or
imagine
even.
some people probably couldn't even. Oh, if they're like staying over there, that's a
Yeah.
great point. Yeah, you're staying because it is cheaper. It's cheaper over there in Jersey. That
I
sucks.
even looked up my usual route, like whenever I fly into New York, the airport in New Jersey, and then the commute.
Newark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the commute over to Manhattan. I just looked at the route on Google Maps, and then it said, yeah, the buses are just closed for the day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I guess that's some negative stuff that happened. But the snow's been cool.
yeah, but then within
It's
the
been nice
city
to see.
itself, it was fine.
Yeah, and then also I think a lot of flights got canceled too. So people
Yeah,
were
of
flying
course.
in maybe for the tournament. Yeah. But what can you do? That's how it goes.
Yeah, what can you do?
Tell us about Berlin, Alan. So you were gone in Berlin for a week, right?
Yeah, it was
Give
one
us
of the
some highlights,
summary
Yeah.
between even like what you're talking about with New York and the whole weather and stuff, and then even with Berlin is that it's never the weather that sucks. You don't have bad weather. You just have your clothes are the ones that suck. You're just not geared properly.
You're not
for the
prepared
weather.
for it. Yeah, you're not warm. You're not
Yeah.
bundled up. You're not layering.
That was the epitome of like my Berlin trip because
So was that your issue?
it was very, very cold there. Like it was like 20 to 30 degrees most days Fahrenheit, and
Yeah.
I was not ready for that.
Well,
I
with the
had
wind too, it can make it feel even
Oh
colder.
yeah, the wind. Yeah, my friend and I, we were talking about how like in Minnesota, how it gets so cold there that people generally wear ski masks because it
Yeah.
just protects them from the cold, cold, cold wind blowing in
Yeah,
their
they keep your
faces.
face. Yeah, they keep your face safe. I had some buddies in New York City actually, because we had a day. I think I went out Saturday morning, and it was -5 is what it felt like. I think it was 8
Jeez.
degrees, but with the wind, it felt like -5. And I have friends that also. I mean, I have my own ski mask. I get my ski clothes out. I get my big gloves out. I get my wool socks out, my boots, and then my big jacket, and I'm okay. But did you buy some new clothes in Berlin then because of the weather?
The
Did you
only
start
thing I
layering?
bought
What'd you
there
do?
was a beanie from Uniqlo because my head was just like
You didn't
completely
have a
freezing.
beanie with you?
I didn't. I forgot. Well, I
You're a
didn't
little
forget. I just didn't
Seattle. You're
think.
such a Seattle boy in the mild weather.
Yeah, that was
You
my
know.
bad. That was 100% my bad. I should have brought more layers, more clothing, just a bigger, warmer
Yeah.
jacket overall.
What type of jacket did you have?
I had this Uniqlo hybrid down coat jacket
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
bought
yeah.
in
The one
Japan.
from Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's really good for the rain and even for Seattle. It can be overkill sometimes, but there, like it can retain heat pretty okay, but the weather was just too cold. So, even though I was
Did you
bundled up
have?
with gloves,
Yeah, I'm a huge
it was
cashmere
too
fan too, like a
too
cashmere
cold.
sweater. Did you have a
Mm.
sweater on at all?
No,
Under.
I had a very thin layers.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that was my
Oh well.
mistake. That was my mistake with
Hey, now
Berlin.
you know because you're gonna be in Hokkaido, right?
Oh
Next
yeah.
month, dog. Now you'll know how to dress for
Now
the
I
winter.
know. Oh no. Oh
And
no.
then, yeah, that's great. It's all about
Yeah, but
learning. What
otherwise,
else
yeah,
though, dude?
Berlin
Yeah.
was it was pretty chill. I liked it a lot. It's really flat there, so you can pretty much walk anywhere you want, and it has
Mm-hmm.
a pretty good public transportation system with underground train and then trams overhead,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
buses
train's
and
great over
stuff.
there.
So Berlin, it was more quiet than I thought. The population of Berlin is around 3 million people, 3 to 4
It's
million
small.
people. So
Yeah.
it's it's relatively small for like a pretty big city that it
It's the
is.
capital
And
too of Germany.
right,
So,
right.
yeah.
And so I didn't see a lot of people. Like it wasn't as dense as I was expecting. But
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting something on the scale of a London or even a Rome when I visited
Yeah.
Rome. And just like the overall density of Germany or Berlin was pretty spread out. So some places it felt really quiet. It wasn't as bustling, but it was really nice just to walk around, see all the different architecture. The
Yeah.
the architecture there is that a lot of West Berlin is more traditional, more like religious based cathedral
Yeah.
architecture, and then East Berlin with the whole conflict during the Cold War because it was more Soviet based and such. It wasn't
Isn't it
as
crazy? Like you can
religious.
see that difference in a city, like
Yeah,
by just crossing one line and going to
literally
the
by
eastern
crossing one line.
part.
Yeah, and the whole history behind
Yeah.
that. So of course you learn about the Berlin Wall during the Cold War in your high school history classes or whatever, but actually just seeing that and more in depth about the stories of how people were treated, how everyday life
Yeah.
was of course like eye-opening to see, but also like sad and impactful even. The interesting thing about the Berlin Wall was that I always thought it was a single wall dividing West Berlin and East Berlin, but this was a wall that was wrapped around West Berlin. Because East Berlin, like the Soviets, they had the wall just wrapped around the entirety of West Berlin. So it wasn't like a single vertical line down the map. It was a circle.
Yeah.
And another interesting thing is that people would be crossing the border like somewhat daily, throughout their years, like going to work, maybe like going to university because you had the university in West Berlin, but you lived in East Berlin. So there were like commutes, but you had to make sure to not carry too many things because if you did carry a large amount of things, then guards could take note of that and be like, wait, are you trying to like get out of East Berlin or something like that? So there are
Yeah.
precautions to take.
I didn't actually know they went back and forth because I always thought because I think East Germany, right, like the Soviet side, East Germany put up the wall originally, from what I know,
Right.
and like probably there's this Iron Curtain, I thought they actually didn't want, like, the whole reason they built that was to prevent people from going into West Berlin. But were people, I mean, I could see students, like, for special cases or for work going over there, maybe.
Yeah, and maybe I'm talking about a different thing, but
it could have been later on, too, like, before it came down.
yeah, like over
maybe
time.
over time. Yeah, okay, that
Over
makes sense.
time.
Absolutely.
But like,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course, East Germany was like, oh yeah, we'll take people coming over because it's a source of revenue for them. Because
I
people
see.
from visiting East Germany, they had to pay, like they had to get a visa approved and just overall tourism, right? So of course, there's an incentive to do that. But they definitely didn't want people moving from East to Germany, because they would be losing power and just overall population. Which is ironic because they would be killing people and throwing people in jail if they tried to cross over, which is, that takes money to maintain like a jail system and whatnot. But
What so some highlights, it sounds like, walking around the city, good transit system, amazing, like really interesting history. I don't know of any other place, I'm sure they exist, but where you can really see that stark contrast in such a short distance of architecture and culture. What any other big highlights? I love to ask always about the food when you're visiting somewhere. What'd you think of the German food? What were you having?
the main German food I had was the sausages.
Yeah.
So I didn't have too much like German specific food. I mainly went to like German style cafes, which were pretty nice. Like I love the vibes of cafes overall in Europe, just walking around and finding these holes in the walls.
Yeah. Definitely more of like a foot city, right? Where people are always walking and you just kind of hop in somewhere, as opposed to other, especially like U.S. cities, maybe besides New York or Chicago, but you really have to drive to your cafe or whatever, right? It's like kind of like know that destination of where you want to be. It's a little bit harder to actually just walk around and stumble upon a place.
Yeah, I had wheat beer. So I really wanted to try the
dude.
German draft beer, and they don't call it draft beer. There's a term for it. I forget the German word for their draft beers, right? You know, whatever the equivalent is. But I had wheat beer. That was very, very good. Light.
Are you saying like a wheat beer?
Yeah,
wheat beer is
but
actually
then,
one of my favorites. Yeah, I
yeah,
love
but
wheat
then
beer.
like the Germans say
Very
the V
light.
for the W.
I know. They're freaking wheat beer. Yeah, they're silly.
Yeah,
they're
had,
silly people.
No, I had 1.5 liters during a lunch session with two friends, and that was a very good.
Just got hammered.
That was a good little buzz for the rest of the day.
That's the way to experience it, dude. You can even get a beer and just drink outside. 16-year-olds are over there drinking. Nobody cares. You just vibe, dude.
Yeah, but of course, my favorite food was the doner kebabs. You can't beat the doner kebabs.
Homie.
The Turkish food.
Yeah, dude. Ooh, it's
Oh
so
my
good
god, I
over
love
there.
the doner kebabs. So I had them like 3 times during the trip. It was wonderful.
I mentioned this a few times, but like I have some cousins that are German, and they claim the doner kebab is a German food, and like I could definitely see it being invented there, but that's Turkish food, homie. Get over it.
Yeah.
Doner kebab, like that shit's Turkish. Like respect the immigrants, man, bringing their tasty ass food over.
Yeah, I didn't
Like,
see any
it's
Germans.
great.
At least I don't think they were German in the doner kebab places making making the food. So,
But especially after you're drinking beers, dude. Ooh, that kebab hits, man.
Oh man, there's a doner kebab place in Seattle I'd like to try. It's like in South Lake Union, but we'll
I
see
wanna
how
hear
it
what you
compares.
think. Yeah, about the comparison. That's cool. So yeah, good trip then in Berlin.
Yeah, overall pretty fun. I'd love to go again, especially when it's not as cold, because like it being so cold made it so that I feel like we had to slow down our pacing, because it was a little difficult to just go around places. We had to drop into cafes or random areas just for warmth, kind
You
of
guys
thing.
just gotta you just need better clothes, homie.
Yeah, we just
This
need
is what you
better
were
clothes.
saying
It's
at the
not the
very
weather
start.
that sucks. It's not
There's
the weather
not
that
bad
sucks.
weather, yeah, dude. There's bad clothes. That's what you was. Yeah, you just maybe a little more prepared next time, but
Yeah, I'd love to go again. So
that's awesome. Yeah, Berlin's great, dude.
yeah, great
I've been a
trip.
few times. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anything else from your travels you want to talk about before we're gonna get into discussion around some video game things?
Yeah, I wanna.
But
Oh no, we're good with the travel. I want to talk about this
can move
video
on.
game stuff, man.
yeah, dude. So bring up some video game things.
Yeah.
What are some articles you've seen recently?
Yeah, so Will, you and I, we were pretty big Switch 1 fans, and then
Oh,
when
I
the
actually never had a Switch 1.
All right. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I just use I play with the Switch One a little bit, mainly as my girlfriend's,
Yeah.
but that was in the last 2 years. So I actually never had a Switch or
Oh,
used one.
okay. Well, we
Yeah.
were very hyped. Regardless, we were very hyped about the Switch 2 that was
Yeah, I was
coming
very
out
hyped because I actually
over the
yeah.
summer last like 6 months ago. So we both
Yeah.
got Switch 2s, like, and we were having a pretty fun time trying to get Switch 2s because they were selling out all over the place.
I
People
had to wait
pre-ordered
3 hours
all the
at Best
time.
Buy.
Yeah, you
even
walked
though I
over to
pre-ordered.
Best Buy during like
Yeah.
midnight release. I would never do
Yep.
that, by the way. I'm not a kid.
Well, no,
anymore.
no.
I'm not gonna...
So let me go back on this one. I know it sounds fucking
Yeah.
stupid, but I pre-ordered it, and everywhere online because like everywhere online was saying, oh, if you pre-ordered it, you go to Best Buy, you have your own line for pre-orders, and you just walk in, you grab it, you walk out. That was it. That's what I was told. The Best Buy I went to in downtown Brooklyn did not do this. They put all the pre-order people with the people who didn't even have one or who didn't pre-order, and we all had to wait together. And so I was there for like 3.5 hours. It was terrible. Even though I pre-ordered.
I remember I might have called you during that time and your phone was dying as well. As like, it was like on the brink
Yeah.
of
I
death.
thought I'd walk in, walk out, dog. I didn't think I'd be there in 3.5 hours. It was awful.
Yeah, it's
All right,
ridiculous.
that's my spiel. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So we were hyped about it. Like I was very hyped. I never had a Switch. So Switch 2
Yeah.
sounded perfect. I was really excited.
Yeah,
They play
and we
all the
both
other
got
Switch
Switch
games.
2s. Like we both
We
got
did.
them within like a day or two of the
Yeah.
release date. So that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
However, that being said, I'm not sure, at least maybe for me, I'm not sure we've played as much as, given all the hype and such. Yeah. Like I haven't played it too much. I think I have maybe 5 hours total on my Switch 2
Oh.
games overall.
I have a lot more time.
Yeah, I know you've been playing a lot of Mario Kart.
I love Mario Kart. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was reading this article about some holiday sales during for the Switch 2 and how they
Yeah.
compare with the Switch 1 during its release year back in 2017. And
Yeah.
for the most part, it's kind of down. Like the sales in the US and especially France, which is one of Nintendo's big European draws for their markets, it's been overall down. Yeah,
Well, so
not
it's-
too many.
It's down with respect to what the Switch 1 sales
Yeah.
were like.
Yeah, that's right.
How was it even when it was released? How did the Switch 2 has it been a pretty even comparison? And only in the holiday Christmas season is when you actually see the dip in the Switch 2 versus the Switch 1?
Yeah, the Switch 2 did better than the Switch 1 during the release.
On release, really?
Yeah, during release.
Wow, that's actually
it sold like
surprising.
1.2 million copies during the release months.
Wow.
So yeah,
wow.
which is the best record for any video game console in its release
Wow.
time. Like actually, yeah, it was 3.5 million units sold in
Wow.
4 days. So
That's
yeah,
insane.
just the best console, But over time, just a few months later, it didn't perform as well, and it's attributed, which I agree with, to not having
I guess?
flagship game. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's because there are not that many games, dude. I'm playing Mario Kart. That's kind of it.
Yeah, it's only like Mario
yeah.
Kart World that's the main. I'm not even sure if it's like a flag. I guess it is a flagship, but
I
there
think it was
aren't as many.
'cause the other games I'm playing on there are actually Switch games that just reported, or I think I downloaded like the Switch 2 expansion for like the Zelda games and stuff. But that's literally all I've played that's new, only for Switch 2, has been Mario Kart.
Yeah. So it's interesting because even though everyone knew that there weren't like flagship games coming out for the Switch 2, it still broke over 3.5 million units in the first 4 days. The fastest selling console.
Yeah.
So, but then now these holiday sales show that there's been a decline compared to the Switch 1 sales. And so it really just shows. Yeah, it shows to me that you need your flagship games, like as good as your console might be, which, the Switch 2 is a significant upgrade over the Switch 1. But if you don't have those flagship games, then it'll just be difficult to sell your console.
Yeah, I think the Switch was also just so successful, which made the Switch 2 so much more hyped, right? Like, I think that's also part of it of why their release was so good. But no, I agree. I want to jump back to one thing, actually. One other game I play a lot is the GameCube emulator. So not me, but my girlfriend, like, she loves Zelda.
Yep.
and they had the GameCube emulator that's only allowed on Switch 2, and they have Wind Waker, and so I think there are only maybe four GameCube games on there. I was also playing Mario Strikers, but that was also a big sell for us, was that GameCube emulator. So I think that was a fun part. I would say together we definitely put like 100 hours probably of time into it.
Into the Switch too, like the GameCube,
Everything, yeah, the whole Switch,
Wow.
yeah. Like I think
That's
it's a
pretty good.
combination of Mario Kart World, and you can buy check it, and the GameCube part, and I also played a little bit of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom on there. So
I had trouble picking up Tears of the Kingdom again, even though it's in 60
Same.
FPS. I think I might be checked out a little.
I did a few hours, but after playing Breath of the Wild, originally on the Switch 1, like that game was so fresh and new. And Tears of the Kingdom definitely has new like things and new mechanics, but it's like kind of a similar world. It wasn't as amazing as it was going from nothing to Breath of the Wild. So
Yeah.
that's how it
I think if it came out like sooner, I would have been like putting in way more hours. But yeah, at this point in my life, I've had my fair share of open world games, and so yeah, I guess.
One thing too, like on that is they keep. I have this written down here, but they're really rebranding existing games, right? Like all these new games, not new, but like Zelda, for example, right? They made it 60 FPS if you get the expansion, and the graphics do look a lot better. But we were getting the story yesterday. My girlfriend and I like looking at games on Switch too. Skyrim, dude, Skyrim has to be the most re-released game I've ever seen. This shit's like isn't it like 15 years old now. When did Skyrim come out?
Yeah, like 2011, I think.
I'm gonna look this up.
2011?
But I swear to God, there are at least 15 different versions of
Yeah.
Skyrim, and like they're still milking this shit. No, yeah, November. It's from 2011. It is 15 years old, and it's like still being made for modern consoles like the Switch 2.
Yeah,
Like they've
Skyrim
milked it
releases
so hard, dude.
releases on the Wii U, releases on
Yeah.
the PS1,
It's just
releases
like, come
on the
on.
Game Boy Advance.
Where's our next Elder Scrolls game, dude? Like, come on, come on.
You think it'll happen before GTA 6?
Or no, that's not Blizzard. That's Bethesda, right?
Yeah,
I have
Bethesda.
no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, watch us get it before GTA 6.
Yeah, it said the game is expected to release for Windows or Xbox 2026 or later for Elder Scrolls 6. So who knows?
I
I
imagine
was
like
just-
a part of
yeah.
why it gets re-released a lot, Skyrim, is because of how much customization there is in the game.
Yeah.
I would think that makes some of the porting over to different devices and consoles to be a bit difficult.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the modding scene I know on PC was crazy. They had lots of mods and things that would make the gameplay better, and they had a lot of DLC content. But I really think it's just people are buying it, dude. It's just such a good game. People buy it. That's why they keep releasing it. So, what else? I mean, you're talking about a video game controversy here.
Yeah.
What was this about? Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Marvel Rivals 40K tournament regarding Kingsman, a rank 1 Magic player.
So this is just let's just step back. So Marvel Rivals is it a MOBA? It's not a MOBA game, right? It's like Overwatch.
Yeah, it's
Like
a
a shooter?
6v6 hero shooter game.
And then
I
this is
played a lot of
specific-
it over the past year.
Yeah, and a specific player, Kingsman. Like this is like one of the agents or whatever in the game, or this is like an actual person.
He's a streamer, yeah, so he plays
Okay,
the
it's a
game. He's
streamer,
really
okay.
good at the game. And
Okay.
yeah, basically there was this tournament with $40,000 on the line, and
Oh wow.
and they had different streamers like being drafted to form teams with each other.
Yeah, because it's 6v6, right? So you need a team.
Yeah, so Kingsman was drafted onto this team with like these other players, like being like CC and Ayaza, like just like other players as well. And like during their scrims while they're practicing for the tournament games, Kingsman is like asking, "Hey, our team comp isn't that great because, you know, he's really good at the game. He knows what team comps can work." So he suggests to them, like to their teammates, like, "Hey, can we swap off these characters and go for like a triple support backline to, you know, have better chances of winning the game?" And like the others like just start bullying him and shit talking him about how How basically like, yeah, you're right, Kingsman. That's a great point you're making, but we're still just gonna stick with the team comp that we're doing.
Why?
I think probably just because of ego, and they probably don't care as much about the tournament as much as he does. And 40K, like, I think if you win, like if your team wins first place, that's around $3,000 per team member that you win, which is a significant amount of money to like someone like Kingsman, because he's in college and he doesn't have a lot of money, so like there's a big incentive for him to play, and also just because he likes the game a lot. But then the others, I guess, weren't interested in like winning as much as he is.
Yeah, like do they make a lot of money from streaming? So to them, a few grand is not like compared to the content you would get.
They
the 3,000.
I think based on their numbers, like the number of viewers they get, I feel like 3K would still be a significant amount of money for the time investment that they're doing into the tournament.
But so they just didn't even care. Like they weren't doing.
They just
everything
didn't really care. They called
okay.
Kingsman names about how he's a broke college student that only cares about money. Yeah, just like a lot of bullying stuff.
Dude. And this is all like live on streams.
Yeah, this is live on stream. Like everyone, like they're all streaming the game, and what happens is that their team, like they end up kicking Kingsman out of the team over this.
And he's their best player.
Yeah, and he's their best player. He's like carrying their games, and then the player that he's asking to swap has like 0 kills, like no assists at all. So like that player was basically AFK during the entire game, but then they were still like, oh no, I'll just keep playing my character.
and he was carrying, and they were winning. Like he was carrying them.
Or they were. He was like carrying during their scrims, but then they kicked him out because of toxicity.
And this is before real matches happened.
Yeah, this is before real matches happened. Like Kingsman wasn't attacking anyone. He was just saying that, hey, our team comp could be better. But then they started resorting to attacking his personal character, like himself.
Yeah. So you've chosen a side on this argument. It sounds like.
What was that?
It sounds like you've chosen a side on this argument.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So that's what. Because I'm wondering, do we actually know everything about it? Like again, these are always 20
because this was covered a lot. So I'll just go over the lore real quick, just obvious. To cover it up. But yeah, basically, like once. He was kicked out, and then that original team, they started playing the tournament, and they just like completely kept losing games. Yeah, they basically lost immediately. But Kingsman made a video on this about his point of view, so like how he was kicked.
He made a video.
Yeah, like just like showing his VOD and stuff. And dude, this video blew up. Like it completely blew up.
So he's probably made more than $3,000 alone on this, like on what's happened.
Yeah, and I watched Kingsman too, like from time to time, and like he was averaging like around 200 viewers, kind of thing. Yeah. But I opened his video during Germany when I was in Germany, and I saw that it had like 200,000 views on YouTube, which was surprising to me because I was like, wait, what this is interesting. Like, where are all these views coming from? And then the next day, it's at like 800K views. Wow. And then the next day, it's at like 1.5 million views.
Yeah, good for him. Though.
Yeah, like, and so like all these like other people are catching wind of what's happening, and they're just like dogpiling on the teammates, right?
Bro, I think those teammates helped him. That's my conspiracy.
Oh, for sure.
I think this entire thing is actually fake, and it's all to drive Kingsman views and attention and discussion, like on our podcast where we talk about it, and to make him more money. So in reality, they probably helped him. They helped that broke ass college kid actually afford a textbook.
Oh, it was so funny because like he blew up so much, and then like he's getting like thousands of viewers now on Twitch, and I think he has like 30,000 subscriptions now, subs on Twitch, which is like amazing.
Good for him. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and like he's definitely made way more money from this, so like super good for him. And then like the others are kind of like career suicided, apparently.
Is it that bad for them? Like,
yeah, it's like that bad for them.
Wow, that's crazy.
It was just so funny because there's like your ego is being called out, but then they don't take accountability. They like blame it on some other thing, like
but I also, and I don't want to defend, but I love having controversial views, Alan, because I understand the whole situation. But if you're like in this, like, because it was like a Twitch tournament, like what type of tournament? Like who was hosting?
Yeah, it was a Twitch tournament.
Yeah, so like none of that shit. Like you're not gonna get the best possible players. Like Twitch is all about personalities and branding and shit, right? And so yeah, you have all these streamers in there who are having a good time making content with it, and then you have this one fucking guy who's like a sweaty ass bitch who's in there. It's like we have to do everything we can to win.
Hell yeah.
I've had this in my individual ARAMs where we have some people when I play League of Legends and I play ARAMs with friends where we're just fucking around. We use it as a way to chat and to have fun. And then you have one fucker come into the party and he's like, "We have to win. You suck. Play this person instead."
Yeah,
and he just starts to be like, they just start to manage all of it. When again, our goal was not to win. So it's all these misaligned goals. The fact that we're all like on a team together is baffling to me. Like that was a mistake probably, but
I think the difference there, like with your games, is that it's like a regular like queue game that you just go with random people, whereas this is like a tournament with actual prize money on the line, where everyone knows it's a tournament.
But yeah, but I mean, I guess because it's not $1 million a person. Like you're talking about $3,000, which to some of these content creators, like the fact that they stream it or they make controversy, they're gonna get more money. I don't know. I think I'm not kind of against that. I don't like it when a sweaty person comes in to win something and ruin the culture. So I support it. I support the 4 streamers. I'm on their side. I think Kingsman ruined it. But you know, Kingsman, everyone's gonna win. Well, I guess not the 4 streamers.
Yeah, not the 4
but
streamers.
Kingsman won, so good for him.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know, like if they're attacking
Kingsman.
his character, they're a bunch of bitches. All right. But that's my hot take on it, Alan.
Hell yeah. It's a great take, Will.
I'm just saying, dude, like when you have this fucking, if you're a bunch of chill people, you have this weird ass, sweaty, broke bitch coming in who's 20 years old. It's like, I know how to win. You have to play this champion. You know, it's the worst shit ever, dude.
Bro, but imagine, Will, if you're playing like a League of Legends tournament, like you're in a tournament with like, you know, 50K on the line or whatever, and Faker's on your team, and he's like, "Hey, Will, swap off your bitch ass champion and go to this champ." What would you do? What would you do?
I would do everything Faker tells me. If he even, I would fly over to Korea to hang out with him and get him coffee if I had to, dude. Like I would put that man on a pedestal. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. I would not behave. Yeah, all right. I would be his bitch pretty much. Okay.
Hell yeah.
It's a good point, Al. It's a good point.
But yeah,
you changed my mind a little bit.
I was just very surprised about how widespread this was, and it was a lot of fun just looking at what happened. So
yeah, I mean it's like entertainment.
Yeah, I was pretty entertained. That shit was funny.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, you know, speaking of what's not funny, man. So you know how like
we're into Tesla.
Yeah, speaking of what's not funny, dude. Like,
yeah, we were gonna get into Tesla a little bit.
Oh, Tesla, what's happening, Tesla? What are you doing?
Yeah. So we saw recently they have a subscription model, right, for their full self-driving car.
Yeah, which was included in their base, like in their cars by default. If you just pay a one-time fee and you get the self-driving mode on the car.
It was $10,000 though, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So initially you have Teslas, right? I think they sold for what, 30 or 40 grand. You have to pay an additional $10,000 for a purely software change of enabling the full self-driving cars. And again, we both have a coding background. It's changing a value in the car where it's give them access to the software. It's literally like a bit flip. And that costs $10,000, so people would pay it, right?
Yep.
And now they've changed it into a subscription model where I think it's $100 a month. Right?
Okay, yeah, so then $1,200 a year.
This is just some background of what's happened.
Yeah. Yep. So it'd be like 8 years to meet that 10K, 8-9 years to meet that 10K. Which Okay. Yeah. But then now it's a subscription model, so that those prices could also change whenever.
Oh, like Netflix? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then the more that you use your Tesla, then the more you'll end up paying over time for it. So
the longer you use it, you mean?
Yeah. So if you have your car for 10 years, then you're paying more than the 10K. Yeah. Especially with inflation as well, that accounts for it. So yeah, instead of the one-time $10,000
the subscription
fee,
probably would definitely increase over time, right? Too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's like, I think it's more accessible. I think if I owned a Tesla and I didn't buy the full self-driving, I'd be so happy hearing this shit.
Oh, for
It's like,
sure.
oh, I'm
I'd
gonna
be
drop
like,
10 grand.
losers.
I can try it out for a month and just see if I like it. Like I think it's great for them, and that's the point. So I imagine this happened because they need people to, like, they need to sell it more. They need more people buying full self-driving capabilities.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little conflicted because the main thing is that while I do support that if you buy something outright, you should get it, completely. The self-driving is a software requirement. Like you need to have the software, like the updated software, and
Yeah, and you need to get updates constantly, right?
yeah, because
Especially with
if your
regulation
software is out
changes.
of date, that can be dangerous for the road because
It could be even illegal, even, right? If it's we're
Yeah.
talking about like road shit, yeah.
So I get that. Okay, maybe if you argued from, I paid $10,000 for the V1 version of the
Yeah.
self-driving feature, but then if the V1 becomes obsolete in 1 month, then it's like, okay, well that sucks.
Yeah,
But, so I
imagine
can
if
see
you
why
buy
this
it,
like
though.
subscription model
Yeah,
can make more sense because Tesla still needs to provide a continuous service to your
Yeah.
car.
yeah. That's like also a standard thing I think we've seen with software, right? Subscription models, like buying a base version. I mean, you see this in gaming, right? A lot of things are subscription based or DLC based instead of the actual cost of the game. I think the subscription stuff with cars does make sense. I imagine if you did the full self-driving, if you bought that for 10 grand back in the day, you probably get all the updates included. Like you have to. There's no way you'd be fucked after a month. So
Yeah.
I imagine they included that, but I
Yeah,
think it's
but
just about
then-
accessibility. They want more people to use it.
They want more people to use it. They also want just more money in general. Just instead of paying one-time fees, they just keep wanting to get money out of you, like as
Yeah,
long as
yeah,
you
but-
use it.
I think though it's like I think more people are going to use it now, and I think what it's 8 years. Even if it was 5 years to pay off, I mean, how long does the average person have a car for? 4 years before they upgrade? 5 years? I don't know.
Sure.
I've never owned a car,
Yeah.
so I could see more people like it saving some money. But I think at the end of the day, what you're saying is right. Their goal is to make more money, and I think subscriptions will do that for them. So,
I mean, it's
yeah.
becoming a world of subscriptions instead of, you're paying not for the product, but you're paying for the service, the permission to use the
I
product.
think it's also as we're more online, like for video games and things like that. It's like if we're getting updates for software, especially, it funds the maintenance of the software. It gives you updates and stuff usually.
Yeah, because like you say, right, the main cost of the products, right, is not the implementation of the product. Like building the
Yeah.
product isn't as
Maintenance.
expensive as the maintenance.
Software
of
is
the
always like
product.
that. Yeah, it's expensive to maintain stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because things
Yeah.
break, you have new updates of whatever libraries you're using, and they're just like, wait, what? They just introduce whatever random changes, so you need to go look at that, host your data.
Yeah.
Just-
So this was a part of too. So the reason this just happened, right? Because it was just this year they announced this. Was
Yeah.
our boy Elon got? You know how much his pay package was recently? Did you see this in the news?
No,
The
I-
Tesla board approved his new pay package as CEO if he hits certain requirements. It was controversial. I think it even went to court to see if it was allowed. Guess how much money if I think it's a 10-year plan. So if Elon Musk hits these goals by 2035, and we'll get into them really fast or
Yeah.
in a bit. How much money do you think he gets in Tesla stock?
Yeah. I was gonna say it's mostly Tesla stock because
It's all Tesla
most of
stock,
these
yeah.
salaries, like CEOs, they don't
For
really care
CEOs,
about
it's all-
salary.
it's all
They
stock,
care about
yeah.
stocks. So
How much compensation do you think he gets? What valuation?
for the next 9-10 years, I would think
Total.
in total, like his net worth is like, billions. Like, so I'd think maybe like 100-200 billion dollars more in net worth.
$1 trillion.
Trillion? What the
That's why it made the headlines. Like that's why it's all over the news. If you look at that, like Elon Musk pay package,
Yeah.
he will if he meets certain requirements for the company, he will get a $1 trillion pay package, which is like the first in history to
Jesus.
be so large. Is it popping up? Isn't it? It's $1 trillion,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it was like pretty controversial. Now I want to get into you. Stop looking it up because I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you about this. Because he has requirements. It's not like he just gets it all at once, right? It's just he'll keep getting it if benchmarks are hit. I want to get into with you about Tesla. about what they have to do in the next 10 years for him to get all this. Okay? And we can kind of
More
look at current
revenue for
metrics.
Tesla, right? Just more profitability.
First one, let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it. So, market cap. Right now, what is Tesla worth? Tesla
I think less
market cap,
than a trillion, right?
1.3 trillion.
Oh, okay. Around 1.3
Yeah.
trillion. Yeah.
So by 2035, what valuation do you think Tesla has to have for Elon to get that package, to get his full $1 trillion value?
Yeah, I remember like 5 years back, like around COVID time, when I think it was Apple that was the first one that hit $1 trillion in overall revenue cap. So it's been 5 years since. They're around like $4 trillion. So in the next like 9 years, since Musk is currently like, I don't know, $300 billion, whatever, something like that.
Well, not Musk network, but we're talking about Tesla, right? So Tesla's at 1.3 right now. Where does Tesla have to be in, by 2035?
Right. So I'm thinking, okay, if Musk is going to get $1 trillion over the next 10 years, then what's Tesla going to look like? I would say Tesla maybe even like 20 times in growth. So like a $20 trillion market cap.
So they have it for, it's 8.5 is what he has to hit.
8.5.
Yeah, like the company has 8.5 trillion. That's one of the requirements.
That's so crazy. That's double of what Nvidia is right now. Can you imagine that in the next 10 years? Tesla is double Nvidia's current value?
It depends what the market goes up, right? Like we'll just see it. The other things that he has to have is they have to start selling 20 million cars a year, or to deliver 20 million cars a year. Right now they only deliver 1.6 million. He needs to have a million.
Oh, heck no, man.
The company has to have 1 million robo-taxis actively being used. Waymos and shit like that. They need 1 million of those out in the wild running.
Jesus.
They need to have at least 10 million people subscribed for full self-driving cars, which is why they just released it. That was actually part of the pay package. Yeah. They need to have 1 million of their Optimus robots, which I don't even know what the fuck those are. Optimus, I guess they're building robots. But yeah, they have to build 1 million robots. And then they have to start clearing, it's called EBITDA or whatever. It's like how much money a company makes. I think it's before taxes and stuff. What exactly does EBITDA stand for? It's like the amount of money a company actually brings in. EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So it's how much money they make. It's the earnings. Yeah. Right now, Tesla makes $12 billion a year. They need to make $400 billion a year. So those are all the requirements for him to get that package.
40 times in revenue.
I'm mentioning all this, though, because people see the headline, oh, Elon Musk got $1 trillion from Tesla. It's not that simple. It's like you have to have all these benchmarks, and increase the company value. But, dude, Tesla's fucking shit, though. Their cars are losing sales. You have Chinese EVs are so fucking cheap. If he actually succeeds in this, it'd be fucking a miracle. So we'll see what happens.
The world completely changes in 10 years. Significantly, if you have 1.2 million to 10 million, whatever, cars being sold a year.
One of the other requirements, too, is he has to remove himself from politics. That's why everyone fucking hates him. Is this dude was throwing out Nazi salutes. The fact that he's still around is crazy to me.
He started getting so much, at least online hate, because of all his political stuff.
He's such this weird autistic man with 9 kids or 13 kids with all these different women. The way he talks is it makes no sense. I think he has a ketamine addiction. He's literally a giant man child born into wealth, right? I think he was already rich. This guy's insane. And I don't think he'll get the $1 trillion. I really hope he doesn't. I hope Tesla kind of burns. I don't think it's a good company. Everything's overpriced. The only reason you don't see Chinese EVs here in the U.S., even though they're so much cheaper, is because they're illegal.
Because we hate China
as a country. Exactly. We exclude these. When you were in Berlin, you might have seen this actually. Because Chinese cars are all over Europe. BYD is super popular. China alone, when I was over there recently, so many EVs. It's great for the environment. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
So it's sad that Americans can't get $10,000 EV cars. You have to get these Teslas or these more expensive ones. So that's my ramble about that shit.
I don't think 10 million is possible. But I
10
guess
million.
just because
Yeah.
of how Elon's been operating over the past few years, buying Twitter, being active more
He has
in
all these other companies.
politics,
He has like this fucking space company,
SpaceX,
dude. He got Twitter
whatever.
now. Like, how is he gonna get time into Tesla?
Well, I don't know how he's like the CEO of like
Like,
4 different big companies all
yeah,
at
dude.
once. So, hey, man, I guess if
Yeah,
anyone
you know how
can
you
do
do
it,
that?
it might be him.
Never talk to your kids.
Neglect everything.
Bro, yeah, I can't wait for like Elon's kids to start releasing their biographies and their stories, because then you'll learn so much about this man.
The
If you
Musk
look it
of
up,
the children Musk files will come
there's
out
a New York
very
Times
soon.
thing from Elon's like family, but I think his dad was like accused of molesting his like nephews and nieces and shit. You should look at that up. Look
Elon's
up.
dad?
There's a great New York Times article
Fucking
about how
disgusting.
about the Musk family. So
It's
yeah,
disgusting. All these.
yeah, it's crazy.
all
And
these-
I think that would actually explain how broken this man is and why he runs 4 companies and has 13
Well, of course
kids
he's
and
like
stuff.
mentally ill.
Yeah,
In,
yeah,
in
yeah,
like many different ways.
So that's that. But damn, dog, like I don't know why, but his companies are worth so much money. Like Tesla, you know, like what's it called, profit to earnings?
I know that
They're
the
like-
ratio is really high, but
Yeah.
as in like, are their costs of, you know, their input costs so low, but somehow their output costs are so high?
Well, no. So profit to earnings is just like it's like
Like how much they take
Oh, no.
away?
PE ratio is what is PE ratio? It's like this context price to earnings of a stock. So it's how expensive a stock is versus how much money it actually makes, right? And so so the S&P average, right? It's like if a stock is worth, let's say, or a company's worth like $1 million.
Yeah.
Like we'll look at a real example.
Oh, I see. So like for example with Tesla, it has a really high PE ratio, which means
Yeah.
that like even though they don't make a lot of revenue, their stock is really highly priced. Like
Exactly.
one
So
one point two trillion dollar market cap, even though you're only bringing in what, like 10
the revenue is $12
billion?
billion.
Yeah, like
So it's worth, yeah. And so for Google, Google is an example. So Google has a $4 trillion market cap. Their P ratio on their stock is 33, which is just a ratio of how much profit they make, or I'm sorry, how much like what the price is of the stock versus how much money they bring in.
yeah, so maybe like divide Google's market cap 4 trillion by
Yeah.
33, and then you get, you know, a couple,
Like their earnings.
yeah, a couple
But,
100 billion, whatever.
Yeah, because Google brings in like Google earnings of 2025. They brought in $100 billion, right?
Yep.
So that 4 trillion makes it like, you know, it's like 30 times, right? They're worth 4 trillion. They're bringing $100 billion a year, about 30, 40. The S&P average, I think, is somewhere between
10 maybe.
average or P. I don't know actually. Let's look it up. The average is 30. The average PE is about 30.
Okay.
Alan? What do you think Tesla's is right now? What do you think their PE ratio?
Oh,
is?
wait, we can do the math. We can do 1.2 trillion divided by whatever, like 12, which is like
Yeah.
100. Yeah, it's like 100.
Yeah, and I think the way PE works is earnings, I think, also takes more into account the profit, not the exact revenue. So Tesla was $12 billion in revenue. So the EBITDA or whatever, like,
Yeah.
yeah. I
So
don't
they
think
get
that's
like
used much.
smaller. Yeah, their profit is less than
Yeah,
12
so the
billion.
price,
So it's even higher.
The PE ratio is 300. So
Jesus
it's like
Christ,
insane. Like it
man.
doesn't really make sense. So it's a vision. It's a vision of these robots. It's a vision. Like the dude's a great salesman. So that's it. That's all I wanted to get into.
It's all
I think
hype.
It's crazy. It's a lot of hype, but somehow
Tesla's
it works, and he's the
the-
richest man.
Yeah, Tesla's the Jujutsu Kaisen of the company world. It's just hype aura. It's just hype moments and
Yeah.
aura, but like
Yeah.
no concrete backstory or development or any like personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there
All
it
right.
is.
That was all I want to advocate for. I've been thinking about that a lot recently as I've seen new headlines. Tesla will have earnings this week as well, so we'll see how bad they've done.
Yeah, and then the stock's gonna go up.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Oh, God.
Hell yeah. Well, in other news, Tokyo's like doing a self-driving bus testing, which is
That's
really
cool.
cool. So we'd
That's
love
very
to see
cool.
more of that.
Yeah,
And they're not charging you a subscription for that. It's gonna be a one-time fee. You just get on the bus and you get out.
Yeah, nice. Pay for use.
Yeah, pay for use, not pay for permission to use. Disgusting. But you know, you gotta make money, so okay, fine, whatever.
Yep. Cool. Yeah.
Well, there it is, man.
Much going. Yeah, we got into your little Berlin trip. We talked about that, right? Got into some video game stuff. The Switch 2, Skyrim, always being re-released.
Some little drama, and
Marvel
then
Rivals
just
drama, yeah.
Yapping and shitting on Tesla. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so there it is, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for listening to the Water in Time podcast. We appreciate it.
This has been episode 9. I've been your host, Alan, with my lovely buddy, Will, over here.
Yeah.
So we missed a week, but hopefully we made up this missed episode with some good content.
Yeah, and we will see you for the first double-digit episode, episode 10, next week.
Episode 10. Oh my god.
We'll have to have something special for that.
Yeah, we could do something special. We'll see. We'll cook up something.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it'll be a subscription to this podcast.
We'll start a Patreon.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds
all right,
good.
everyone. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good week. Bye.